Hey girls, welcome back to Heatherly Hearts, and welcome to the fifth installment of my Battle of the Mega Fall palettes. I'll list the other four below. We're going to start with boxing, and okay, this is the Kat Von D Spellbinding Eyeshadow book, okay? It is a thin cardboard. It has her original artwork on the front, and then most of the colors, because it's a circle, some of the ones in the corners have been you can just see the tips of them. And then the color names in them, okay? The names of the colors. Okay. So, pretty box. The Urban Decay Vice 2 is a little bit harder plastic. So maybe reinforced plastic, not as hard as the case, but you know, a good plastic. There's like a stormy scene on it. On the back it talks about there being all new shadows, and it has the shadows crushed up, it looks like, with the names below them. The names are a little easier to see on this palette, but because of the original artwork and the beauty and the coloring of this palette, for boxing alone, and this is important to some people, believe it or not, for boxing alone, I have Kat Von D winning that. So 1 point for Kat Von D, Book of Shadows. Okay, now let's get to the actual packaging. Let's get on to packaging. This is the packaging, the actual packaging of the palette. It looks just like the box for the Kat Von D package. It is a reinforced cardboard, and on the back it has the colors with the name. So as you open this up, it's just magnetized because there's no device or level that, you know, you just open it yourself. It's magnetized. And on the inside, instead of putting a mirror, which I know is kind of strange on a cardboard palette, but I have seen mirrors put in them before, so it is possible. Instead of putting a mirror, they put the looks. They put different looks, and I like that for beginners or for big palettes when you just are kind of lost at what to do. But I would rather have a mirror in a mega palette, okay? Okay. As you look in it, there is this attached plastic shield. On the plastic shield is where the names of the colors are. Now let's go into, my notes keep, okay. Let's go into the packaging of the Vice 2. It is a reinforced plastic, very well made, beautiful. It has a button device that opens automatically the case. See how that's opening on its own? Inside it has a gold, hello. See my little, that's why it's always shaking. Y'all see my little stand? Hopefully Santa will bring me a good tripod for Christmas. Big mirror, bigger than my face, beautiful. And underneath each name, each eyeshadow is the name, which I really like, okay? So on packaging alone, Vice 2 wins hand down. So hands down. So right now we have a mark in the corner for Kat Von D and a mark in the corner for Vice 2. Okay, value. Because that's a big thing. These are mega palettes and they're not cheap, so we're going to get into value. The Kat Von D has 24 shadows that are 1.4 grams each for $55 at Sephora, okay, and Sephora.com. This has 24 1.4 gram shadows, okay? The Vice 2 has 20 shadows at 0.8 grams each for $59, and it's available at UrbanDecay.com, Sephora, and Ulta, okay? So for $55, $59. So for $4 less, you get over double the shadows. Value, it goes to Kat Von D. Okay? We have 2 marks Kat Von D, 1 mark Vice 2. Okay. For colors and formulas, the Kat Von D has jewel tones and neutral tones. So it has plenty of beautiful jewel tones and plenty of neutral tones, which I really like. It only has 2 mattes, just like the Vice 2, but it has a good variation. So if you are a neutral girl, you could use this palette. If you want to branch out to jewel tones and metallics, you could use this palette, okay? The Vice 2 has mainly, the Vice 2 has mainly shimmers, metallics, and glitters, and they're mainly in the jewel tone. There's not a lot of neutrality in this palette. See, I mean, there's a couple of neutral tones, but really hard to make just a look out of that unless you use these, you know, this one, and this one. So this is much more a holiday palette, a jewel tone palette. So for that, because they are different, one is neutral and a little bit of jewel tone, and one is a little bit of neutral and a lot of jewel tone, I'm going to give them a tie for the color variation, okay? Okay. For the mattes alone, they both have 2 mattes. Kat Von D has the colors Countess and Dark Throne, which are this light beige and this Dark Gunmetal. That's the two mattes in that palette. And Vice 2 has Habit. Woo, Habit and Rewind, which are this one and this one, okay? So for the mattes alone, for the formula of the mattes and the color of the mattes, I give that to Vice 2 because I like the formulation better, and I like the fact that it has a matte mid-tone brown. For the satins, I give it to Kat Von D because her satins are creamy. They're done well. They blend well. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And I like the formulation of her satins. They feel like cream. The Vice 2 has really good satins, but the Kat Von D kind of edges out just a tiny bit. For the shimmers, Vice 2, like I said, they have changed their formulation for their shimmers and glitters, and they are just on point. Like, look at Damage. This is a shimmer. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer. That's more metallic. Let's find another shimmer. Toxic. Okay, so for the shimmer colors, I give it to Vice 2 on color variation and formulation. For neutrals, Kat Von D, we've already gone over that. And for Jewel Tones, Vice 2, we've already gone over that. Must-haves in a mega palette are that it has a mid-tone brown and a matte light cream. The Vice 2 has a mid-tone brown, but it's missing a very light cream. The lightest cream it has is Habit, and honestly, for girls that are my skin tone, this is actually darker than my skin tone. It's great as a transition, but not great as a highlight, and I do like it there to be a very light matte cream, like what's in the Lorac Pro palette in my mega palettes. So the Kat Von D is missing the matte tone brown and the matte light cream, but has a matte mid-tone beige in Countess, which I can use as a transition. The one thing that for the must-have that I think for a fall palette that the Kat Von D does have that Vice 2 does not is the red and cranberry colors. It has WTF and this beautiful, what is it? See, I have to keep referring. Stupid autocorrect is right here. It is gorgeous, and this is WTF. So for the mega palette must-haves, the Vice 2 has a matte brown and a matte cream, and the Kat Von D does not have a matte mid-tone brown, but it does have a matte beige, but it does have cranberries for the coloration. So they both have hits and misses in the category, so I'm going to give that a tie, okay? Again, it just depends on your preference of what you would prefer, okay? The quality. Both have a couple of shadows that aren't as good as the others, but for the main part, they're all really good, so that's a tie. I had these palettes for 3 weeks before I started posting videos to do my research, to play with them, to research them online and look at blogs and stuff like that, okay? So I've had these for 5 to 6 weeks now and been working with them. And what I believe happened was there was so much hype surrounding the Vice 2 that it just got more of my attention. Simple. I am, just like every other human, predisposed to have things that I think I like, and everybody was doing videos and looks, and it kept wanting me to, I kept wanting to recreate those looks and go back, and I think it just got more attention. And then about a week ago, I realized, you know what? In my mind, it's a foregone conclusion that the Vice 2 is the winner, so that's what I'm going to give away. So I went and bought it. I'm just going to go ahead, spoiler alert, this is what is going to be given away. Because in my mind, I had been working with them for over a month, and this was the sure winner. When I say sure winner, it was like a 9.3 to a 9.5. It was that close, but still Vice 2 was a little bit the winner. See what I'm saying? And then about a week ago, I thought, I think I'm neglecting the Kat Von D palette. Because if it were up to me, I really think it's a better value. Obviously, you get double the shadows for less the price. So, and I like the consistency. I love the coloration. Why am I predisposed to like the Vice 2? Let me spend more time with this baby. They have not marketed this palette well. You probably have never heard of it until this channel, or maybe one other channel. It's not being marketed well. The magic of the palette is not being marketed at all. It gives you a little glimpse about layering the looks, and they've paired them up for you back here. And that, to me, read, use one on the lid, one on the crease, call it a day. That is not what they meant. This palette has 24 shadows. You can see there's 24 shadows, 12 and 12. It's 36 shadows. It is amazing. Let me show you. And I just found this out like 4 days ago in my research, and I can't believe that I missed it. Okay. It pairs these shadows up, okay? So we have Dark Throne and Precious, these two. We're just going to start with this. They're meant to be layered, but not layered for a look, layered together to create a third color, okay? So let's swatch it. There's Dark Throne and there's Precious. They're paired up in this palette. They're going to be layered together, so let's do them right here. So there's Dark Throne, there's Precious. You can see it, okay? Let me wipe my fingers clean. if you layer them, it's a whole new color. Sorry, I'm shaking the thing. I'm going to try to... So I'm going to put Dark Throne down, and I'm going to take another clean finger and layer Precious on top of it. And I want y'all to see it transforms into a third color beautifully. These are not colors that if you blend them when they're paired up, she uses rose extract or something, which is good for your eyes, but as you blend them, they don't become muddy. They become unified and create a third color. I did not know this a week or two ago when I purchased the Vice 2 because it had like barely beat it out, okay, because I was just predisposed to like it. I didn't know the fact about this palette that it's actually 36 colors and more than that because they blend together so beautifully without getting muddy, okay? Here's the bottom line. Let me get to my notes. The total category wins in all the categories we talked about. You can see Kat Von D had 5, including the extra bonus of the 36 the colors you can make. Vice 2 had 5 and there were 3 ties. So I had 13 categories or 12 and an extra that I think are must-haves for palettes, and it is a tie. Y'all can see that. I can always learn something, and I'm never going to have a channel where I come to you like, well, I've already bought the Vice 2, it's 60 bucks. I can't afford to give away this too because it's 55 more bucks, and I have a lot of giveaways coming for Christmas. So I'm just going to act like this is the winner because I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. I can always learn something. I learn something from you girls all the time. I have people recommending things that are on YouTube all the time. And so what I learned this week about this palette, that it is made to combine the pairs or come up with your own looks, and they blend so beautifully and create a third alternative color. Honestly, this is the palette that I would buy. What I'm going to do is I am going to give away the Vice 2, and this is why. This is a better deal. I feel like if you're going to invest in your makeup collection, since this is such a good deal, it's double the shadows for less price, go get this, okay? Go get it yourself if you want it. That's great. I'm going to give this palette away because compared to this, I think this is the luxury palette. This is the palette that is going to include colors you might not have because of all the jewel tones. This is coming. We're all saving our money. This is the not as great deal. You get half as much for more money. So I've already bought it. So I'm going to be giving away the Vice 2. What I'm going to do, because this video is already going to be so long, and I'm sure plenty of you are going to have questions about this and requests about this, and I'm going to have to redo the video because obviously the swatches I did for y'all are not complete because it didn't include the 12 alternative colors. So I just didn't know. I was ignorant of the fact, okay? So this is the 5th video. On Monday, by noon, I live in Louisiana, so by noon Central Time, I'm going to post the rules, which are very simple, for the giveaway. So it's going to say Vice 2 giveaway. Okay, girls, if you have any questions, please leave them below because I know it's not even as clear as I thought it would be. And I talked to my husband and I'm like, how am I going to make this clear to them that I'm giving away the Vice 2, but if it were me, I'd go buy this one. You know what I mean? Because I already bought the Vice 2. I can't, you know. Appreciation for all my new subscribers and all my old subscribers and all my supporters, but also I think it's a palette that is worth having and I want to give it to you. Okay, I've got to get this up. It was supposed to be up yesterday. I'm not going to be even able to edit it that much, so it's going to go up kind of as is unless there's just a really, really dodo part that I've got to take out. Okay, girls, I'm going to go right now and put this on my editing software. I'm going to put all the movies together and get it up. It's going up today. Today is Friday, November 1st. Okay? Okay, girls, I hope that I was clear. If not, ask questions below. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope your day is filled with only the beautiful things. Thanks, girls.